The question we're going to be answering is how many lakes did she swim today? Now today includes morning and afternoon. And the word and tells me we're going to put them together. So we have 1 2/3 plus 1 2/3. That's the question we're going to answer. Now let's draw a picture of this. Our denominator is 3, so that means our pieces are in 3 equal parts. So there's 3 pieces there. And I know that we have more than one hole, so I'm just going to make 2 because I know we're going to need them. Remember, our holes are in pieces based on the denominators. Now, if we take a look at 1, well, 1 is 1 hole, so I'm going to shade in all of this. And then we have 2/3, so I'm going to shade in 1, 2. Then down here, again, we have 1 hole and 2/3. Now, when we're doing a picture, our goal is to make it so we have another hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, look, there's enough to make another hole. So now we have 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes. So our whole number is 3. And what fraction is left over? 1/3. To add and regroup, we just simply start by adding the whole numbers. So we have 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we add the numerators. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we slide the denominator, which is 3. Now, this is an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. It means the top is bigger. So we've got to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, instead of 4/3, we're going to go 3/3 plus 1/3. Now, I got this. If you look at 3 and the 1, that's 4. So that's how I figured that out. We needed to make a hole. And because that's a hole, 1 hole, we're going to add 2 plus 1 plus 1/3, which equals 3 1/3. So this time we're going to convert from a mixed number, which you see on the screen, to an improper fraction. To do that, we multiply the whole number and the denominator. We get 3. We add the numerator, and that's 5, and then slide over the denominator. Again, multiply the whole number and denominator, 3, add the numerator, 5, slide over the denominator. And now we add, so 5 plus 5 is 10, and we just slide the denominator, 3. Now this is an improper fraction, so we need to convert it back to a mixed number. Remember, there's this magic thing that this means divide. Yes, it's a fraction, but it means divide. So 3 divided by 10, 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, 1, so remainder of 1/3. So the answer to this question is 3 1/3. So for problem number 1, you have 3 different ways you can choose to do this problem. I'd like you to try it, and then I'm going to talk you through each of the 3 steps. So pause the video. All right, now let's take a look at the first method, which is draw a picture. First, we notice that there's 9 in the denominator, so we know that we have to have 9 spots. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we have 9. And now there are 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1/9. And then now we have 2 holes. 1, 2, and 1/9. Now, when we're looking at the answer, all we have to do is count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 holes. And then there's 1 piece here, 2 pieces. So there's 2 selected out of 9. So our answer is 6 2/9. For the second method, we can just add. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. And our denominator, we just slide. 6 2/9. That is the add and regroup method. And here's our last method. 4 times 9 is 36. Plus 1 is 37/9. Over here we have 2 times 9 is 18. Plus 1 is 19/9. Now we have to add our numerators. So 37 plus 19, 16, 3, 4, 5, so that's 56/9. Now we're not going to keep improper fractions. So because we're not keeping improper fractions, we now have to convert it to a mixed number. So 9 divided by 56 is 6. 9 times 6 is 54. 2, so 2/9. And so there's our answer. Now, which method do you think was the fastest to do? Convert it to a improper fraction here, or to just add it, or to draw a picture? For some people, the simplest was the picture. For most people, this one was probably the easiest, just to add it. So be aware of what type of problem you're solving on which method to use. All right, let's solve this one together. Whole numbers. 5 plus 2 is, what's the next thing we do? Numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. And what's the last thing we need to do? Slide it over. And there's our answer. Now think, why do you think Miss Bates circles her answer? Because you guys write sloppy sometimes and it's hard to tell your work. So get in the habit of circling your answer so I know what the answer is that you came up with. All right, problem number 3. What's the first thing we do to solve a problem? whole numbers. So 1 plus 3 is 4. What's the next thing we do? Numerators. 1 plus 4 is 5. What's the last thing we do? Correct. Slide over the denominator. And then the last thing, circle our answer. All right, for question number 4, what's the first thing that we do? Whole number. So 4 plus 6 is 10. What's the next thing we do? The numerator. 1 plus 1 is 2. What's the next thing we do? Denominator. 3. And the last thing we do? Circle our answer. All right, so we have the whole number, the numerator, the denominator, circle. Ready? The whole number, the numerator, the denominator, circle. One last time. The whole number, the numerator, denominator, circle. All right, for question number 5, we have 2 1/4 plus 2 3/4. So first thing we do is, yes, whole number, 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, what's the next thing we do? Numerator, 1 plus 3 is 4. And the last thing? Slide over the denominator. Now, here's something I want you to pay close attention to. When the numerator and the denominator are the same, so when the numerator and the denominator are the same, that equals 1 whole. So this is actually 4 plus 1. And we can simply write that as 5. So let's try that out on question number 6. Okay, I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and answer this question. Three plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. And we slide over the denominator. Now, what's the next thing we need to do? Think in our head that this numerator and denominator are the same, so it's equal to 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is the answer. I want you to do questions 7, 8, and 9 on your own. Pause the video, and then come back to the video for the answer. Here's the answers. Now, on number 7, I hope you noticed that the numerator came out larger than the denominator. So you had to convert it to a mixed number. And we did that by making a 1 whole, 2/5, and then adding it together. You can add mixed numbers. Yay! If you have any questions, reach out to me.